Hello, this is Miss PSKV coming to you in the comfort of your home. Well, just coming in to talk to you about the unfortunate. When things come into our life that we are not pleased of. Things that have came into our life that have stagnated us. And the only reason why it continue to take root and grow stronger and stronger until it becomes overwhelming around the things that is in your life presently is because you did not take the time to look back at that past that was stagnated and go in and do something about it. Now you'll say, Miss PSKV, what in the world are you talking about? And what I'm talking about is when we want to go forward in life, we got to also be true to ourselves, not to take baggage and things that will overwhelm us, that has already been complicated. And the only thing that is doing is continuing to grow root because you do not want to go underground. And underground means to go into that deep depression and start cutting it up and say, I have overcome. I am a survivor. No matter what it is, no matter which situation you've been going through, you are a survivor when you have took action to take control over your life to rise into your greatness. Now, what is greatness? Greatness means that when you can take the time and move from people gossip, move from how people looking at you and what they think about you, and that is your greatness. That is the first point of greatness when you can start identifying yourself that you are important. And the blessings on your life is important. The purpose on your life is important. And now, whatever was bothering me in that past, whatever think that it had roots on me, I am strong enough and I have the ability to rise and say no more. Enough, enough, enough of that bull, that bull crap. Enough is enough. So motivation starts with yourself. Motivation starts with you taking charge over all that darkness, all of that stuff that is hidden from your childhood, all of that stuff that you feel that mommy didn't treat you right, daddy didn't treat you right, and you was the black sheep of the family. And everybody was mistreating you and you was bullied in school, but you allowing that dogma mentality of that stagnating darkness to continue to be hidden while you are growing newness. And sooner or later, if you do not handle that mess with your own mind of strength, with your own meditation of greatness of positivity, these things will come in and it will come in with a contagious spirit to try to upset the blessings that is being manifest in the now and walking into the future. So yes, the past things do need to be looked at. The past things do need to be handled. The past things do need to be uprooted, chopped up, and thrown in the fire for us to rise into our greatness and not carrying the overwhelmed guilt, the overwhelmed, I could have did this better, overwhelmed of being stagnated, being fearful. Baby, we have the strength. Oh, my sweet babies, we have the strength. We have the strength to rise as giants in our mind, that we know that we are our controllers of the mind. Yes, the universe father controls us. Yes, the universe father is in charge of everything. But you got to remember, he did say he gave us power in what? The dominion power. He had given us power in the power of his glory. So when we do not use that power, that is when darkness can come in and stagnate us. But when we rise up and say, no matter what, it's going to be done. I don't have to live like this. I don't have to live like this. Just because I came from a family and I was born a crackhead baby, I don't have to live in the residue of my mother or my daddy who was on crack cocaine. I don't have to live like that. I don't have to live like that from an alcoholic parent who was now thinking more of that alcohol and thinking more of getting that next drink than taking care of me and feeding me. And what about those that was born into a family, a single parent family, and they was hooked on them drugs and they was getting supplemented food stamps and they was out there selling the food stamps, would not even put the food in the house to feed the babies. Now we got generational lines that done grew up in that category. We have generational lines that have now grown up into that dysfunctionality of abuse. Abuse that took place in their own bloodline. Their own bloodline of dysfunctionality. And now you're adult. Now you out there on your own. You are out there now to rise yourself up to take care of your own family. But now that residue of that underground, dark, deep dysfunctionality of abuse is still hidden inside of you. And it coming right back to be active because you done what? Been raised into it. It done came in with the essence of its disease and it made you contagious of the things that is touching your life for your own adulthood, your own future. And then it also can stagnate you where you don't even mature. So when you come in and you can recognize the uncleanness of that dysfunctionality, of that unfortunate behavior that was not called on you, that you was born in that environment. You was born with that contagious order, born already addicted to drugs. Babies, it's never too late for anything. It's never too late to rise up beyond the measure of whatever was passed down to you from a generational line. You have the power to say no more. You have the power to say, I refuse. I am the generation who reject this chaos. We have the power to make changes. We have the power to renew ourselves. We have the power to renew our mind. So when it comes down to taking action, when it comes down to taking action and being aggressive in that action, and the aggressive mean not to be a mad black man and a mad black woman or a mad white man or a mad white woman, no matter of what culture you may come from. I don't care what culture you is. You don't need to be mad about anything. But what you need to do is get serious to say whatever it is. I have the power to overcome it. I have the power to have authority over my future. I have the power and the authority to have power over my destiny. And that means to take a good look at yourself. Take a good look at ourselves. We need to take a good look within. That's why the word of God tells us, even down to the poetry and the blessing of it, tells us to self-examine ourselves. That's right. The first examination of judgment is ourselves. It don't come from the outside. It comes from the inside. So when you can sit down and self-judge your own self with the bad things, that nobody got to come and tap you on the shoulder and tell you that you are narcissist. You can self-examine yourself and say, wait a minute, hold up. This is not just a disease. This is not just a mental dysfunctionality that I'm suffering with. This is about me now to self-examine myself and to understand it and study it. And study it to understand why I am acting like that. And to go into the deep of the root and saying, wait a minute, hold up. How did this birth in me in the first place? How did it penetrate me in the first place? To rise beyond it. Why is I'm so mean? Why is everyone telling me that I, react this way? And I'm not looking at myself to see what is the problem. looking at myself to see what is the problem. Why am I reacting with that meanness? This is Miss PSKV, and this was part one of the reality of the mind cutting up roots. This is part one, the meditation of going inside of our mind for divine healing. This is part one, that we are coming into the reality that we have the power to destroy those old roots that is locked in within. You can find me also on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. This is Miss PSKV coming to you in the comfort of your home.